Hello, this is Angela Anderson. Thanks for joining me today. We are going to be painting some really fun little Christmas ornaments. I think that they're probably doable. They're maybe a little bit more on the advanced side, but if you wanted to, you could simplify these by using a pen. I do have a traceable for them also. This is a live show. I've got my husband Mark here with me.
Hey everybody.
And he is going to be manning the chat for us. So if you've got any questions while we're live, you can post those in chat in all caps, and I'll try to ask him every now and then if we have questions. So we'll get to them when we can. If you're new to my channel, welcome. And I'm so glad that you've joined us today. And please, after the show, subscribe if you've enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, comment, and check out my other videos. I've got all kinds of different ones and some cute snowmen that we did last year. Ooh. So if you didn't pick up these wood rounds, because they were kind of hard to come by. I bought them early this year. I was afraid that they would be gone. So I got these at Hobby Lobby, but I've seen them everywhere, even at Walmart, I think. If you can't find those, you could get these little mini 3-inch canvases, and they would work. They're about the same size, so don't sweat it if you can't find them.
Are they sanded?
They're pretty smooth. I went ahead and coated mine with clear gesso just to make sure that they were sealed, but we're going to go ahead and paint on them. And I think that these are prepped for painting. So if you're doing these yourself, I think you're supposed to put them in the oven to cook them a little bit to make sure that they harden and
To dry them out
Dry
so
it
the
out.
moisture doesn't come out underneath the paint.
Exactly,
Yep.
exactly. So we've got some birch tree wood that we've cut, so we're going to make some more of these on our own, and we'll hope for the best there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a pretty basic palette. I just went with the primaries today, so it's and I went ahead and used fluid acrylics. I thought that they might be easier to use on the smaller canvases, but if you have your heavy body acrylics, those will work too. Quinacridone Magenta, this is Pyrrole red, but you could use cadmium red medium. Burnt umber here on the side, there's a yellow oxide. Hansa yellow medium, which you could use cadmium yellow medium instead. Cadmium orange. Phthalo green, and this is teal, which is a mixture of phthalo green and phthalo blue plus some white. This is phthalo blue, this is dioxazine purple, and white and black. So basic. And like I said, I went ahead and just sketched it out. I haven't actually painted these, so they'll be interesting today. I don't think that they'll be really difficult. And I do have the traceable available for you on my Instagram page and also on my Thankful Art. It's on Instagram, Pinterest, and my Thankful Art page on Facebook, and the links are down in the description for those. So I think the first thing I decided to do, originally I was going to leave the wood grain showing and just paint on top of it, but I thought that that might be a little bit tricky for those who are kind of new to painting, because if you made a little bit of a mistake or went outside your lines, I don't think that this would erase off of the wood. So I thought maybe it would be easier just to have a little bit of paint underneath, and we'll still leave a little bit of the wood showing around the outside edges, but I'm just going to put some, and this is like, if you wanted to mix this is phthalo blue and white. It's called light blue permanent. But I'm just going to go ahead and put that on really quick. Mark may have to blow dry for us today a little bit.
Standing by.
He's our blow dry man. I'm using a 3/8 inch. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit drugged today because I've had a cold. So if my words are slurred or not quite there right, that is why. And that's why I didn't go on camera today too, because my nose is literally Rudolph red right now. It is not a pretty sight. And Mark can say that's for real. Like, I'm not joking. I got a cold sore right on the tip of my nose. It's like, what the heck? It's like that. Isn't there a Brady, wasn't that a Marsha Brady thing that happened to her when she was going to prom or something? I think way back when, the Brady
I don't
Bunch
remember. I'm not old enough to remember the Brady Bunch.
So there we go. See, I left about a 1/4 inch maybe around the outside edges there just for a little bit of wood grain showing. You're not a what? What'd
I'm
you
not
say?
old enough to remember the Brady
Oh,
Bunch.
yeah, whatever. You're older than me. Jeez.
What brush are you using again?
This is a 3/8 inch angle brush, but you could use whatever brush you wanted to. It doesn't really matter. I just like the angle brush for.
It's what you're comfortable with.
Yeah, I'm just comfortable with it. So use whatever you're comfortable with. And this is super exciting. I probably should have done this ahead of time, but I just thought about it before we started the show. So it's happening live. Yeah, because I mean, I just don't know how. I think this wood is going to kind of soak up the paint, and I think that's why it's actually kind of reacting okay though, because I think the clear gesso coat that I gave it, it's doing okay. So if you didn't want to have to do this and wanted to leave the wood grain showing, I think that would be fine. And if I was doing this with my kids' class, I probably would not even be painting it with colors. I'd probably just give them Sharpies and show them how to draw it and let them draw straight onto the wood. That's probably, if you want to simplify it for, kids, or if you're just not comfortable painting this, all this little details like we're going to be doing, that's totally, I think it would look really cool, kind of like, especially if you used a dark brown color, or if you painted your background black and then added a white marker on top or something like that, it can make it look like that chalkboard. There's all kinds of different things you could do. So yeah, but I think if you use the brown pen on top of this wood, it'd look kind of like a wood burning thing. So with its popular right now, a little bit more natural look. So I just thought that the light blue would be kind of pretty behind all of these. And I didn't put very much paint out, so I might have to put a little bit more out on this one. Any questions today, hun? Are we good?
No,
not yet. We haven't really done anything yet.
Answer the brush question. Do you need me to be drying the other ones while you're painting that one?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Probably a good idea. Good plan. Mark is stuck over in the corner. My studio we're probably, as soon as Spencer is gone to college, we're going to take over his room and expand the studio, I think. He doesn't know it yet, but we're eyeing the studio, his room for my studio space. So he's got the second biggest room in the house, and he's the youngest. Doesn't seem quite fair. His older brothers are moved down. All right, whoops, I'm getting off camera here, sorry. I get asked questions about easels all the time, and this is kind of, I don't know, I started out painting on wood like this. Back in the 90s, Mark would cut my wood pieces out, and we'd have, like, I don't know, just whatever it was I was painting would be cut out. I would draw it, and then he would cut it out of the thin wood, and I would paint on it. And so I just got comfortable with actually holding my painting while I was doing it. So that's kind of, even when I do canvases, I still like to hold them sometimes. So never really got into easel painting unless I have a large canvas. Then of course you can't hold it. All right, gonna clean that out. There we go. Got one that's dry. Good. Well, kind of dry. Looks all right. No, I think it's all right. It just looked shiny, but I think it's fine. It's kind of not cured underneath, but I think it'll be okay. Yeah, I have a feeling that since these aren't as porous as canvas, they're going to take a little bit longer to dry. So let me see which one this was. This looks like it was my moose, maybe. No, it was my nativity. All right. I kind of just drew the outline of the ones that I was planning on, just to make sure that I could fit it in there. They're all basically the same size though, so it doesn't really matter if your wood is a little bit off from what mine is. I think I'm going to just make sure that I have enough room here, and I think I'll put my palm tree way over here. So it's just a curved line for the palm tree, and then a few curved lines for the, let me zoom in here. We'll get real close.
If people are asking questions, I'm missing them. So they're gonna...
Yeah, if anybody's asking questions, you're going to have to ask later because Mark's busy. Okay, so then our pitched roof, like that. A little bit longer on this side than this side, and then our stars right up at the top. Just do one long, just like that. Then our like that. Okay, then his head is curved around here. He's got like a little piece at the top of his head and his face, and then his arm. Yeah, it's definitely sticky. Arm comes around like that. Then he comes straight down here and here. Little round hand. And we'll do the bottom of the manger right about there. Then for her, well, we'll put baby Jesus right in the middle here. We'll just do a little X right here for him. And then mom is right here. She's kind of leaning over him. And her hair is, or her covering is right there. And she's kneeling like that. Something like that, at least. Okay, so if you wanted to, what you could do is just do this in silhouette. That would be the easiest way of doing it. And then you wouldn't have to worry about any of the little details. I'm going to go ahead and fill in the details today, but actually I do want this color. I'm going to add a color here. This is Unbleached Titanium, which is basically white plus a little bit of yellow oxide, but it's a good flesh tone. So we'll go ahead and put that in the face. Hand, baby, hand, face. And I used a watercolor marker or watercolor pencil to draw, so it's water soluble. But I'm kind of going inside the lines, so I have left a little bit of an outline for it. We'll do white on her headdress. I'm using a small spotter here. This is just a little brush it's like a liner brush, only it's smaller, shorter. We'll give him kind of a golden. Yeah, we'll give him like a golden. This is yellow oxide. Ooh, my hand's shaking. Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling great. I can tell, like, this is not easy painting while I'm drugged. My hand's not cooperating very well. Oh my goodness. And I'm doing like the most detailed painting that I've done in forever. It's funny, of course. Okay, I'm gonna mix a little bit of phthalo blue plus white. Just gonna make a medium blue, maybe a little bit darker than that. There we go. We'll do Marion Blue. It's a pretty traditional color for her. So far, so good. So basically, it's just kind of a matter of filling it in at this point. We're not...
Your left arm is rubbing there.
Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not sure how to stop it from doing that. To hold my arm way out weird. Okay. What color should Joseph's robes be? Green, maybe? Let's do them green. Or, I don't know. You decide. I'll let you guys decide. Whoops. There goes my pencil. Sorry. All right, let's do the manger, or the, yeah, I guess that's the manger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got a little too much water there. I'm using heavy body acrylics here. I didn't have a thinner burnt umber, so it's the thicker paint. So you just need to water it down just a little bit to make it a little bit more manageable. Okay. We'll do this color for the barn too, or the stable. What are you laughing about over there?
Well, we have pink, purple,
Pink. Oh gosh.
or brown. Are the three that have been mentioned in the chat. A reddish brown.
Okay, yeah. I could see that. Pink and purple.
Or purple. Yeah.
I don't know. Purple was a royalty color, so men wore that back then. I'm just going to do these ones kind of rough so that they don't have to be quite perfect, since the manger is sort of, or the stable.
And then they also suggested white.
White. Yeah, white would be good too.
I just wonder if they were like matchy-matchy. You know, sometimes when couples, they dress alike and then go out.
I don't know.
Is that when you've been married for a while, you start doing that? So
Yes.
This is kind of early in there.
True, they're a little young for
Yeah.
that still. We'll put this on the trunk of the palm tree too. We might have room for little sheep down here too. It's a little wider than I drew. Let's put ourselves a little sheep in there. Like, my hand is really shaky today. This is really frustrating me. Okay, I think, I don't know, I'll keep going with the palm tree here. I'm going to add some white to my Phthalo Green and maybe a little bit of the yellow oxide just to tone it down a little bit. This is more of a olive toned green. I'll show you the color mixing here. Okay. I'm gonna get fairly dark because the rest of it's fairly dark. Okay, so with the palm tree, you're gonna do your center branch. So each one of these center kind of curved lines, and then you just go from the inside out with short little brush strokes that kind of curve toward the tip. I really like painting on these little minis. I don't know. I used to paint minis all the time. I did ornaments, and I did a ton of little jewelry pieces. We used to do button covers, if you remember when those were in style. Button covers and earrings and pins and all of that, and these little tiny canvases, so, or teeny wood pieces. This is kind of my throwback. Throwback to the old stuff. But I still like to pull out these little minis every Christmas and paint something like this. I like to do these ornaments. They're just fun. So there we go. You can kind of see it. There's just shine on it. But
what brush are you using right now?
this is a 2/0 spotter. Whoop. Robert Simmons sapphire line. So I'm going to mix a little bit of brown with the yellow oxide and just do a little bit of a shadow or a highlight on some of these brown areas. Get a little bit of white. Right. We use that color, that kind of brownish yellow mixture in the foreground here. This will be our dirt color. I'm just kind of wiggling my brush back and forth to create some ground, just a suggestion of it. And then I'm going to grab some gold and white, yellow oxide, yellow and white, and we'll put a little bit of straw around baby Jesus here, just a couple pieces there. I don't like how these, I'm going to put out some thicker paints because I don't like how these are so watery looking. Excuse me for a second here. I'm using an egg carton just because these fluid acrylics are very thin and they tend to wander around the palette. So this kind of keeps them contained. I guess if you had one of those palettes that had the little cups in it, you could use those. But even still, I move my things around too much. I think I would still have issues.
And where did you get that egg carton?
Walmart, I think, right?
And local grocery store should have them.
These were Eggland's best.
Okay.
They're the best palettes, I think.
So you go with the styrofoam ones, not the cardboard ones?
Right.
Okay. What do you do with the eggs?
I eat them.
Oh, okay. All right.
You're a mess.
I'm just getting the questions before they come through chat here, so, you never know.
I'm going to use this yellow gold color to do the star.
Okay, so what kind of tea are you drinking right now?
I'm drinking green tea. It's a Majestic Dragon green tea. And also a Univert, which was a French tea mixture. So I mixed both colors, or both flavors. So the Majestic Dragon had lavender and rose hips, I think, in it. It was a mixture that we got from a tea shop. So let's add a little teeny tiny bit of red. just right here to the center. So, yep, that's what I'm drinking today. There we go. I might go back in and add a little bit of white to the tips because you can't really see it very well. There we go. Just going to blend over that red and kind of blend it in just a little bit. There we go. All right, I think I'm going to do him red. Let's do him his robes red, but not kind of like straight red, like a yellow oxide plus the red.
Did the package that the wood come in tell what specific type of wood it was?
No, it didn't. I don't think.
Okay.
It didn't. It feels, I don't know. I don't think it's oak. Might be hickory or something like that. Hickory's pretty hard though, I think. Adding a little bit of the unbleached titanium here for the sleeve just so that it sort of separates from the rest. He's got some beefy muscles in his sleeve there. He's buff. It's all that sheep wrangling. No, what did Joseph do? No, he was a carpenter. That's right. So, sheep wrangling. What am I saying? It's all that heavy wood that he was lifting and carrying around, furniture making, whatever he was doing. Okay, give him his staff. We're almost done here. Oh, we got to put the rest of the details on our sheep. Now, I mean, I can keep going here and like outline her a little bit, and might put her sleeve a little bit lighter just so that you can see it, kind of like I did him. Cute. We could put some light yellow with our green in the tree for some highlights, maybe brighter than that. There we go. Just a few. We don't want to cover over all of it, but just add a few little highlight branches. There we go. And I think our sheep is dry enough to add a little face. And we are just going to do like a dot, like a triangle for the sheep face, and two little dealies for the leg. And maybe clean it out and come on. Just a teeny tiny bit on the tip of my brush and do a couple of little ears. There we go. All right. Cute, I think. Maybe a little bit darker brown. And then you could put a name, or you could put the year down here, I think. So there's our little Mary and Joseph. Does she have a little thing around her head? I think she might, just to hold it in place, right? There we go. Whoop.
Again.
Maybe a little bit dark blue.
I'm not sure if you're asking me or not. Hopefully it's just rhetorical questions, because I don't know.
You don't know?
I would say yes. Kind of, probably not like a sweatband or anything. But
Oh my goodness. Probably not. Yeah, I don't think that they wore sweatbands back then. But that might be the start. That might be where we got it from.
Yeah, exactly.
We got the style from them. That's probably partly why they wore them that way. Possibly. You never know.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I'm sure it was functional as well as Looking good.
Functional. That's I told you. Functionable. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit more flesh tone because it kind of turned blue a little bit on us. That was our first coat, so give it a second coat just to brighten it up a little bit. This is very, got to have some patience for this, but it's worth it. And you could always make this bigger if you wanted to, enlarge it on a bigger canvas. I love the little sheep. He's my favorite. Okay, I think we're done with that one. I'm going to try to do these in order so that those who are wanting to paint just this one,
Do them one at a time.
Yeah, do them one at a time so I'm not skipping around like I did when my snowman. I have a lot of complaints about that from when I did my snowman ones because I kind of skipped from one to the other back and forth.
Yeah, and it's tough editing it too.
Yeah, Mark tried to edit it for me. Yeah. Okay, this is the gingerbread man or gingerbread house one. So we want to fit it in right about here. There's not a whole lot of room at the bottom. So I want to give ourselves plenty of room for the house. So I'm going to put the line for it down low. And just a couple little circles, kind of squash circles like ovals for our candy pieces. Then the main house is this triangle shape, sort of here and here. Try to get it kind of in the middle if you can. Like a V shape, I should say, not a triangle shape. V shape. Then off of that is going to curve our two candy canes. So those will curve like that. There and here, and try to get them about the same level. We made these out of clay with my kids' class a couple of years ago. They were the cutest things ever. We did polymer clay, and they decorated the little gingerbread houses, the clay gingerbread houses with little canes and cut slices out of the. Yeah, it was fun. They were so cute.
Nancy's joined us.
Hi, Nancy. Happy anniversary. We didn't get to go up there. They're celebrating today, big party for their 40th, I think. 40th anniversary. That's my Aunt Nancy. Okay, do a heart at the top where you want the top of your house to be, and then I'm going to do just a wiggly line from 2 wiggly lines from that to my candy cane for the crest of my house, like that. And on this side I did a little chimney and some little curlicue smokes coming out like that. And then up at the top here, did a round circle for like a candy piece, and then 2 little window squares. I didn't leave myself very much room for this windows here, sorry. That'll have to do. All right, let's get painting. And I'm going to cover over half of that now that I'm thinking about it. Let me use my number 2 round. It's a little bit thicker than the liner brush, but not by much. And we will fill in our candy canes on either side here. I have a feeling that this whole lesson is going to be a little bit long because it's just got a lot of detail. Am I in camera? Okay, yeah, okay. I think when we did our snowman last year, it was 2.5 hours, so I have a feeling it's probably, because we're almost at an hour and we just did one.
Oh, we're only 38 minutes.
Yeah. Get a little bit of this fluid acrylic. There we go. Yep. Too bad we don't have Christmas music. If you're watching this, you can play yourself some Christmas music in the background. It'll get you in the mood. Probably going to put up our Christmas tree this week. I'm guessing. I'm going to put a little bit of snow at the bottom here. Just rubbing very little paint on my brush. Just kind of rubbing it back and forth across, underneath and around these candies here. And my watercolor brown is mixing, so don't go over that too much. There, it's turning it brown right there. I might move those candies over a little bit since they didn't center them very well in front of the house. There. Okay.
Okay, now what pencils were you using to draw on there?
This was a watercolor pencil.
Okay, and somebody in chat said that they were having a hard time getting their watercolor pencil to mark. Is it just because of a brand? Is there a difference?
Sometimes the paint resists marking, so if that's the case, you could draw your thing on a piece of paper like I did and just trace it, draw it, trace it out, and then transfer it with the transfer paper.
Okay.
And that might be easier. But yeah, that's not uncommon. It happens. Mm-hmm. These are white to start with, so I'm going to go ahead and fill in these little candies white, and then they'll have little.
And the brush that you're using?
It's a number 2 round.
Okay.
But made by Escada Pyrrole. I think Escada is the brand and Pyrrole is the line, so kind of like Robert Simmons Sapphire. These are an expensive brand, though, so I wouldn't.
What could you use instead of that if you don't want to rush out and get one?
You could use a liner brush instead, or I could still use this one if I wanted to, or if you have the number 4 round, you could probably use it. You just have to be a little bit careful. The number 2 is just a little bit smaller than the number 4 round. But number 2 and some brands are not the same. Like, a number 2 and another brand might be totally different sized. So I would just say look at a liner brush and go just a slightly bit thicker. You can see the difference there. And the number 2 is just right there, a little bit thicker. All right, let's do our gingerbread house. We'll do burnt umber plus white. We'll make it a little bit, yeah, that's a good color. I'm just going to go over the top of this detail here that I drew. I'll just go back in and do it again. In fact, I might make my roof a little higher. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring that up a little bit higher and make my roof.
You're kind of painting off.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and cover all of this up so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to move that heart up higher, so I'm just going to it'll give us a little bit more room for our windows. We'll just move paint the heart up. And I need to figure out, I guess I'll make the heart red. The front door is going to be red. I was thinking about making the heart like a dark chocolate. going to go back in and just, actually there's a little bit of white in my brush here, so I'm just going to tap that in. We'll grab a little bit of Pyrrole red. Then in for the door. I'm just really just trying to be careful and go slow. Notice I kind of go out and do the outline first and then fill in the middle. They're so cute. Can't stand it. These are so stinking adorable. All right, I'm going to take my eraser and just erase that little bit of a heart right there. Did I get my...
No, I was just trying to think.
I think let's do it pink. Let's do the heart pink. I'm going to use Quinacridone Magenta and a little bit of white. That'll be cute. Just carefully filling it in. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit of this blue back down here because it kind of erased. I got too much of this white around us. There we go. That was bugging me. And then white again for the top of the house here. So this whole area is actually, you can just kind of do little dots if you want to. Dot, dot. It's supposed to look like icing, so it can be kind of messy. Fun. It's awfully quiet today.
Yeah, not too many questions. Just people
Good.
enjoying the show.
Demonstration.
Yeah.
Yeah, we voted on these. I did a little poll in my Thankful Art group online, so I do those every now and then when I'm kind of have a bunch of ideas and don't know which ones to go with. And so that's how we kind of came up with this series of the last few paintings that I've done, the angel and the white winter landscape that we did the other day, or Tuesday night. And then this one, I had a moose, a nativity, and pickup truck with, and what was the other one? Oh, the gingerbread house. Dar. I'm working on. I swear I am not, it's not my fault. It's not. I'm not at my best today. Sorry. I'm sure it's pretty funny.
And they also enjoy your fingernail polish also.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I did the blue sparkly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tuesday night, we're going to be doing angel wings again. Just the wings this time. So I thought that this would, I'm going to probably do the background like this blue. I know the picture shows red, but you can do whatever color you want. But I think I'm going to do like golds and blue, gold, silver, blue theme. So that should be a really fun one, I think. That was what I was planning on. Well, I had recorded the red one, but then I decided I wanted to do a different color. So you're getting it live on Tuesday. Be fun. Okay, cute. I'm going to go ahead and outline the house with a little bit of yeah, I'll do black. This is where you could grab your pen. So if you're not comfortable with outlining, just grab your pen and do this part with your pen. I use I'll even do it a little bit. This is a Faber-Castell Pitt pen, and it marks really well and it's very fine. They come in all different sizes. This one is the fine width F. You'll have to kind of clean it off the nib every now and then when you're painting or drawing it over paint because it wants to get sticky. So just keep that in mind.
And what eraser were you using?
This eraser?
Yeah, it's just a
Just a regular eraser.
Okay, nothing special.
No.
No fancy art name.
No, although I did get a fancy new eraser. I don't know why I didn't use it. I got myself a click eraser that's a triangle shape. It's pretty cool. I'm bad. I also had to order myself a really expensive pencil for no reason. Except for that somebody else was using it in one of their videos, and I thought, oh, I need to get that.
I want that.
I did. I want that. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Got our Napoleon Dynamite reference.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. But you kind of have to say it like, oh, I want that. A little bit more.
Kind of under your breath.
Yeah, under your breath, like you're kind of really trying not to say it too loud.
Right.
Okay, circle here for the little candy, and then you could use the back end of your brush if you wanted to get a perfect little circle. Just takes a little bit longer for that to dry, so I'm not going to do that. And now I have plenty of room for our windows, but I'm going to go ahead and do my little zigzag piping around the outside of my door. Not really zigzag. What is that? Curly. Oh, my brush is getting messed up. Here again, you could use a white pen for this part. So.
Your microphone is rather locked with your shirt.
Really? Mm-hmm. Where? Is it?
Your sleeve there, that's better.
Okay.
That's much better.
What did I decide I wanted to do? Okay. Oh, windows. Windows. Okay, so I'm going to make a light green with phthalo green and a little bit of yellow with my white. And we'll do little windows here. Hope those are bright enough. Maybe add a little bit of white to it. Try to get them about the same size and width apart. Cute. Okay, get some white. I'm going to do some little cross pieces here. I'm not loving that black around the door. I'm going to cover that up. What you doing, hun?
We'll just try to figure out where the ribbon comes from.
Is it still doing it?
Yeah.
Is it this right here? Put my credit card under there again.
Wow.
Sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm not talking anything here, so I guess I need to be talking, don't I?
Well, I guess welcome to everybody that's been coming in. Angela's already painted the manger scene, and she's working on the gingerbread house.
Yes.
And on deck, we got a truck and
That's
a
right.
moose.
That's right.
Not together.
No.
So
Separate.
there. Thanks for everybody joining us. Click the thumbs up, subscribe. The list of all the supplies are down underneath in the description there. There's links to Amazon if you're needing to buy some brushes or anything there. And I guess that's all I got.
Yep.
And I'm not even on medication. I was got lost here for a second.
Good job, honey. Thanks.
Trying to do a real professional job here.
Right. Serious business. All right. Just a little detail on those. Let's do it up here too. Might do red and green this time. We'll start in the center and curve. And then just keep doing that. Gives it that swirly candy thing. That one's better. Cute. Let's get some white here. We'll do some little white. What?
We had a question asking if they were going to paint this on a tin surface.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have to do any special preparations for the paint to adhere?
I would use like a paint that's made for metal, like I don't know that acrylics would stick to tin all that well unless you prepped it. I would probably prime the tin, and then you probably paint over the primer with acrylics just fine. So, and I have done that. So, but there are paints that you can get that are for metals or that are more, stick straight to the metal if you don't want to have to prime it. But yeah, I would definitely prime it first. So, all right, let's grab some red. We'll do our little candy canes here. This is very red and white today. We'll add some other colors to it here in a minute, but doing little curved lines. Oh.
Okay, and what exactly is gesso?
Gesso is a sealer that preps the canvases, and it just primes them, makes them ready for paint, to accept paint. Some people use it like paint, but it's really not intended for that.
So it's like primer that you would put on your walls before you paint your walls?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But it's for canvases.
Okay.
So, all right, that looks a little janky, but that's all right. Okay. Looking cute. Let's add some white. Little. Just set my brush down and pull in towards the center here. Do a little detail. I'm using the thicker paint too. It seems to be working a little bit better, covering a little bit better. I'm gonna have to go do a second coat on this to brighten it up a little bit. And clean up any edges that you got messed up there. All right, it's coming along. Almost done. Let's put some of that pink down here in the gumdrops. You could probably do a little gingerbread man down here, but I didn't want to have to try to fit it in. We'll do different colors. Let's do one that's orange. Oops, a little bit of water there. Just make sure when you're cleaning out your brush that you get it nice and dry when you do. I'm going too fast here and I'm not leaving my brush time to dry before I'm grabbing the next color. These are just kind of curved and flat bottomed. They're just curved at the top and flat in the bottom. So, and if you make a mistake, you can just kind of clean the bottom up there. Like that. Let's see. Do a green one over here. That looks. You could even do a Christmas tree over on this side too, if you wanted to. Let's see. Yellow. We'll do yellow. Cute. Okay, so now we're just going to use these colors and dot. Using the tip of my brush, I'm just going to dot different colors in at the top here like they're little candies. You could use a toothpick for this if you wanted to make them perfectly round, but let's see, orange. I don't know, I'm not going to make them perfectly spaced, I'll just kind of wing it. A little bit of blue.
Okay, people in chat are getting restless.
Uh-oh.
They need a doorknob.
Oh, yes. He's supposed to have a doorknob. It's supposed to be a little white heart. There we go. Thank you.
That was close.
Crisis averted.
Yes.
Let's put a little bit of this blue underneath these little stepping stones, just to give them a little bit of a shadow. Maybe up underneath the candy canes too, just to kind of set them in there. Okay, get some pink going on. Do some little pink dots. Almost done. Cute. And then I'd probably go back in and, well, maybe we'll do it here. We'll see. Well, make sure your brush is clean before you try to mix lavender. I've got purple and white here. Make a softer pink purple. Purple, you definitely, Dioxazine Purple is so dark, you definitely have to put white with it or it'll look black. The same thing with the Phthalo Blue. If you try to go straight Phthalo Blue on here, it'll look like you're using black. This Phthalo Green is almost too dark there that I used. So just okay. Some yellow. Yellow up there. Actually, we'll do yellow over here too. I'll just fill it all in with yellow or just not do red up there. We'll just do, we have not so much red in the other places. Okay, so now for our finishing touches, we'll take a little bit of white and we'll just put some little white, let's do a little white comma mark on here. And we'll do little white highlights in on some of these candies. Just little comma strokes. I think that's good. What do you think? Cute?
Cute.
Cute. You could do some more hearts or little other things on the open areas here if you wanted to also, but I think that that's good for now. We'll just go ahead and move on. So we've got 2 down, 2 to go. Set those aside.
1 hour down.
Well, good. All right, so maybe 2 hours we'll be able to get it done. All right, so this is our truck. You can see how that paint bled through, the wood grain bled through there. So it's a good thing I sealed it. Okay, so for the truck, we want the main area to be right up in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do the curve of the hood of the truck right there. Then there's a, well, let's put the ground in so I know where to set the tires. So there's 2 tires here and about here. And there's a long line goes through straight up here. And then this is about a little bit lower than the hood. So this line comes in and then split right down the middle of the truck is the door and the top of the hood. So this goes all the way to there. And this is split in half again. So this kind of angles up and around like that. So there's our basic little truck. He's a little bit low, but it is what it is. You're just going to have to live with it. So the windows are like this. There's a little handle here. I'm not going to go into too much detail right now because it'll all get covered up. So, and then the tree is in the back here. So let's have the tree sticking up over here this way, maybe. So it's kind of taking up a little bit more room. Like that. Okay. Grab the number 2 round again. Well, no, let's grab the number 4 round. A little bit bigger. And the whole truck will be this red. So grab that Pyrrole red And we'll just fill it in. I'm going to leave the windows blank and the tires blank. We'll do those. Put a little detail in there later. Just filling it in. I've got a lot of paint on there. So if you get too much paint like that, I just like to kind of smooth it off of my brush and then go back in, do the outline, and then dip back into that paint and make sure that you get it all smoothed out. And if you need to, you can wipe your brush off on the paper towel and just kind of use it like a sponge to pick up any excess paint that you don't need. But don't leave, if you've got like thick areas of paint, I always make sure you smooth those little bumps out because they will kind of mess you up later on when you go back in to do some details if you have big lumps in your paint. The wood grain can be a little bit tricky too. You might have a little bit of bumpiness from it. Like right here, I'm kind of dealing with a little bit of grain showing through and not wanting to fill in very well. So just kind of be patient with it. I just love the look of these though. I think they're so cute with the dark edges and everything. Just have a really neat look. There we go. Okay, let's do the tires. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use my brush this time, or my back end of my brush this time, and just do my tires in a big circle like that. Now maybe kicking myself later if these don't dry. But
we had a question going back to the gingerbread house. What was the base coat, I guess, of the brown?
that was just burnt umber plus white. And I kind of wish I'd made it a little bit lighter so you could add a little bit more white than I did with mine.
Okay, so you mixed it.
Yeah, mixed it. Come on. All right. I'm going to switch over to my spotter. We'll do the tree. Grab my phthalo green again. That's been mixed with a little bit of yellow and a little bit of white. So it's a little soft. And I'll go ahead and very carefully, I'm just going to pull from the outside, and actually we'll angle it a little bit so that it's, if you do the center line here, I'll angle down from that. I don't know, maybe it should have been lower. What do you think? In my drawing, I have it lower. Kind of looks like it's not being held up by anything. I don't know.
I think it's all right.
It's all right.
Yeah. So,
Just getting a little bit big there. I think I'm
yeah.
going to clean that off.
Ooh, erase.
Maybe too late.
So somebody asked, is there a something you could add to the gumdrops back in the gingerbread house to make them look sugared?
Yeah,
Or
you could shimmer them. You could add like a iridescent something and make them shimmery.
Okay.
You could use a watered down white and just do little dots on top of them, like little tiny, or even stipple a little bit on top. I'm just filling back in that background there. This is why I painted it, because I figured if you want to make adjustments or something, it's easier to do when you've got this painted background versus a wood background, because it would have soaked into the wood. All right, let's try this again. This time we'll do the tree kind of more poking out this way. That's better. Looks a little more natural. Okay. Then I'll go in with some yellow and white, or even a little bit more just white with my base color. And just add a few little, even wider. There we go. Do some straight down too. Get some really dark green. Put some little, do them in layers, like if you think about like dark and then light on top. There we go. That make sense? I don't know. Just give it a little bit of dark area there so that it looks. And grab the white, put some white streaks in my window here. And then I'm going to make a gray with my white. You could use silver if you wanted to. I'm going to do a little headlight and grill right here. Some gray trim all along the bottom there. And we'll want to put gray inside the wheels there too, but they're still not dry. I'm going to use black right here and do a line straight down here. So kind of the black gray color. A little handle with the white. I'll put a little bit of this gray in the windshield too, or the windows too. Put a little white on the headlight. Some white on the ground under the truck. Just some squiggly lines there. Cute. And then around the wheels, there's like a dark, I'll mix a little tiny bit of black with my red. Make kind of a dark red color. And we'll do this little wheel well right here on the truck. Just a little detail. My paint's still a little bit wet, so it's not wanting to cooperate very well. Go. And actually it's supposed to go down to here. I covered it up. Grab some of that red. This is supposed to go down to this. That gray is not supposed to cover it right there or right here. Here too. Okay, so cute. Let's just put a little dot of white in the center of these wheels. All right, I think that's cute enough. You can do gray around the white once that dries. We might go back to it. I think I might add a little bit of the lighter gray. Just seems like this is not showing up very well. Maybe even a little bit darker gray. Black. There we go. Okay. I'm just going around it with that dark gray, brown, black color. Cute. So there's a little pickup truck in the snow. I think the white needs to be a little bit brighter under his tires there. So we'll give it another coat. There, those tires are kind of smushed down. They don't have to be perfectly round. At the bottom there. Okay, 3 down. Oh, there they are. Cute. And let's put those up there. We'll do our moose. The moose was the most sought after one, so I saved him for last. He was the one that everybody really wanted to see. And I need to make sure that his antlers have plenty of room, so I'm going to make his antlers come in right in here. I'll do those first so that I know they'll fit. And curve them up like this. So they kind of come out straight, go down, and back up around the sides there. Then his face is fairly narrow. It's just kind of a semicircle, upside down U. And then the muzzle is kind of an oval shape, a little bit wider than the face. The body kind of angles down from that on either side. And then I gave him a hat, so did like that, and then kind of curved up and back down, and continued it down here Actually, it narrows. So there's the tip of the hat. Like that. Then he has a wreath around his neck. So there's the wreath area, and the bow will go right in the middle. There, we'll put that on last. And then his antlers, I did like 4 little curved, like that. So 1, 2, 3, like, and back down. Okay. This one definitely you could probably put something at the top. I might put some of the lights up there or something, or just put the year. I don't know. I'm going to grab my number 4 round. We'll go ahead and fill him in. His face and body is burnt umber. I'm going to add just a little bit of white. It'll be the same color that the gingerbread house was. Just about. Burnt umber plus a little bit of white. And this is definitely lumpy. This is the lumpiest one. There's a lot of wood grain filling in, so you just kind of have to dab. You're probably not going to be able to brush solid. You probably have to dab. That's one of the worst murals surfaces to work on. So if you're painting a mural in your house, take that into consideration, because a lumpy surface like this that's stuccoed, heavily stuccoed wall, takes me at least 2 times to 3 times longer to paint than a smooth wall. Just the way it goes. I learned the hard way to price accordingly. I've done a couple of things that should have taken me 5 hours easy and take me more like 12 to 13. So this one is going to take a little bit more finessing just because it's a little bit lumpy, but that's all right. I'm just leaving the space for the greenery to go. And then his muzzle I'm going to do just slightly whiter, so I'm going to add a little bit more white to that color. Maybe grab the unbleached titanium. That'll have a little bit of yellow tone to it. And we'll do the muzzle a little bit lighter color. Cute. Really, this is very cartoony. It's so funny because I looked up pictures, just to see, how other people had drawn the moose antlers. When I'm doing a painting like this, I always look for references and pull my favorite parts, out of my references that I found. And when I put in the search for moose with lights in its antlers, I cannot tell you how many pictures were actual mooses with lights tangled up in their antlers, like real moose that had gotten into people's yards and gotten their antlers all tangled up with lights. I was like, that's classic. So it's an actual thing that happens. So funny. I'm going to use the yellow oxide to see how this does. I might add a little bit of burnt umber to it just to kind of tone it, darken it a little bit. Yellow oxide and burnt umber, just a tiny bit of burnt umber for these antlers. I think that'll be good color. You could switch to a smaller brush at this point if you want. I'm using this kind of lighter yellow because the lights will be black, and I didn't want to use the burnt umber for the antlers, because then the lights might not show up against the, or the black, would have a hard time showing up against that dark brown. So using a lighter color. Cute. And this would be super cute on a bigger canvas for sure. And I didn't do his ears because they're kind of covered up by the hat, so I just figured they wouldn't be visible because their ears kind of stick up behind their antlers. So that was a artistic choice. And we'll do this one nice and big on this side. And really, you do a deer fairly similar, only you just do the antlers thin. So if you wanted to do Rudolph or something like that, you could do pretty similar face, and then just do, the muzzle might be a little bit narrower, but it'd be really close to the same. Okay. Cute. Let's grab some of our green here. And I'm just going to tap in the green to make sort of wreath-ish shape with fuzzy edges. We'll put in some lighter color to give it some dimension. That'll be good for now. His muzzle is dry, so I'm going to go ahead while it's dry and give him a little highlight on the top with a little bit of white mixed with that color. Just do a little highlight right there. And then we can do a little bit on his antlers too. Just setting the brush down and kind of pulling a little bit. Very light touch. All right. It's coming along. Almost done. How long? 1.5 hours so far. It's not too bad. All right, let's do his red cap. His Santa hat. Grab my white and just dab on. I'm going to go ahead and go over the top of the antlers a little bit. Dab that on. Just touching it so it's a little bit fluffy, like tapping it. Be careful not to go into the red too much because it's still wet. So, and tap it on the little ball there. Might just add some water and try to get rid of that outline a little bit.
Okay, so we got 2 questions. First one is the base coat for the moose the same as the gingerbread house?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
the brown is the same.
Okay. And then what brush are you using right
This
now?
is the number 4 round in
Okay.
Robert Simmons. Yeah. Yeah. It's one of my must-have brushes. It's like one of my all-time favorite brushes. I'm going to go ahead and bring this all the way down here. It just feels like it's not kind of connecting to his face very well. There we go. All right, I'm going to grab some black. Now you could use a toothpick or the back end of a small brush for this, but I'm going to make his eyes kind of a teardrop shape, so I want to use my brush for it. I'm going to set it down and pull just slightly. Set it down and pull just, whoops, not that much. Look at that. I am not on my game today, I swear. This is bad. Well, it's good. I guess you can see what happens if you make a mistake. So there you go.
That's okay. We'll give reduced price to everybody for today's
That's right.
show.
Yeah, reduced price for drugged Angela.
Yeah, 10% off.
There we go. So I just took that base coat and kind of cleaned it up a little bit.
And,
No biggie.
And for the muzzle, what was the mix that you did? To
It was just
tone it
this
down?
color plus a little bit more white.
Okay.
So it's the same. And then the antlers were yellow oxide with a little bit of burnt umber. Okay, so I'll do the nose little kind of off to the side a little bit. Oh, cute. You could do them smaller than that if you wanted to. I'm going to use a liner brush and do a little bit of a mouth. And then we'll use this also with the black and do our little lights tangled up in the antlers. So and I'm just going to drip these around. Try to keep my lines small. And they're kind of tangled in around like that. They're going up underneath his antlers over here. And then let's say they come out, maybe they're behind his head here, so follow that line there, and they're coming out like right here and up. Just trying to make sense of the shapes, you know, that you're painting here. So then this is going behind and it's going to kind of curl down right here and back around. Ooh, I'm going to go nice and low with it. Go up over this time. And back behind it again. And we'll just curl it down and back in. Okay. Then for the lights, I'm going to just make a little, we'll just use different colors. I'm going to grab my smaller spotter again, just a little bit thicker. And we'll just use varying colors. I'm going to use red, orange, yellow, purple, green, blue. And we'll just start. I'm going to set it down and just kind of pull to a point. I'm leaving a little space because I'll go back in and put a little socket there for each one of these. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, red. So I'm just kind of leaving a little bit of space one got a little out of control there. This is not a good day for me to be doing detailed stuff. There we go. Okay, orange, yellow, green, blue. We'll do another red one over here. Just kind of trying to figure out the spacing. Orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, red down at the bottom here.
Kind of low on the screen there.
Sorry. Okay. Do another coat of red on this guy's hat because it kind of, that blue underneath is sort of bleeding through. Give it a little bit more definition. I'm going to grab some of that blue from the background and clean up around the outside of the cap too because it got a little bit muddy.
Is that the liner brush that you're using?
This is the spotter. The
Spotter.
Small spotter.
Okay.
It's not as long as a liner. It's a kind of liner brush. It's just liners have longer bristles.
Just something else to buy.
Right. Well, I recommend for beginners to start with these brushes instead of getting a longer liner brush just because they're easier to manage. I'm grabbing some gray here and I'm just going to add a gray shadow to the bottom of this snow or the stocking cap. Just dotting a little bit. Oops. Let's grab the green and mix a little bit of yellow with it. And we'll use that in the wreath. A little bit of white too. Just dotting a little bit of that color. Gonna make leaves in our wreath around his neck. And now we're going to use that little bit darker version. Actually, let's just go in order so that we don't have any problems. So we'll go orange next. And this is heavy body paint, so it's a little bit thicker. I'm just going to do them in different directions so that it doesn't get too matchy-matchy.
And is that a Robert Simmons brush?
Yes. This is the sapphire line that I like to use.
Robert Simmons Sapphire. Okay.
Sapphire. It's, I think I have a link to it in the description. Pretty sure I do. Yellow. If your yellow's not covering, you can add a little bit of white to it. It'll help. Help make it a little bit more opaque. Now the green.
You getting low again?
Sorry, thank you. Huh?
At least I'm paying attention,
Thank you.
somewhat.
At least one of us is. All right. I feel like there's a lot of empty space here to fill up. I don't know where I went wrong there, but there's some colors missing. Let me have to fill in a few other colors. So I've got blue. This is a Phthalo Blue plus white. That's a little bit, gotta make it a little bit darker because that background color is the same combination. So just a little bit darker than the background. Let's do one way up here. And then do one this way. Yeah, there's some colors missing over there. I don't know how I skipped that whole section there. I'm not sure what happened, but we'll keep going, hope for the best here. There's purple plus white. And we'll fit that right in here, so that'll be our cute.
It's amazing how he got him perfectly hung up on his antlers, too.
Well, just, just kind of loop and think about where the next one would come, just go behind and skip the line in order to get it looking like that. All right, we'll do one purple one over here. That actually probably would have been a different color there now that I think about it. Oh well. It's a good thing nobody's paying me for this today because I am a mess.
But they could donate. They could
That's true.
click on the iCard and donate, support the
have-
channel if they want.
Have mercy on me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just do a yellow in here. Call it good. Even though it's out of order, don't tell anybody. I don't think it'll matter that much. All right, now I'm going to grab the black again and just do little black dots everywhere that those touch the line so that they look like they're plugs. And then we'll go back in and give them some highlights too. Just to make sure they look like they're shining, sort of. All these little details make a difference. Grab some red. Do a little bow for this. Get some white and do a little soft center there. And if you're really being fancy, what I would do is mix like orange with white and do, for the orange ones, do orange with white, with the red ones red with white, blue with white, yellow with white, to do these highlights, and then do a little dot of white, of pure white in them. But since this is so small, I don't think it'll make a difference. But if you were doing this bigger, that's probably what I would do, is do a little bit like a combo of white and whatever color you're trying to highlight. Whatever bulb you've got there. Cute. Let's put a little bit of more white in his hat just to brighten that up. And then a little dot of white in his eyes and his nostril, and we'll be done. Cute. And I think I would definitely put the year up here or something like that. I might even do that with my pen. Actually, yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. Pen doesn't want to mark. You can use Sharpies on this too. Sharpies will fade after time. So if you're using Sharpies, you might spray your ornaments with a UV spray to protect them from fading. And all of these I would definitely spray with some sort of a sealer, acrylic clear coat, or a brush on varnish of some sort. So there they are. Cute little ornaments. Hope you've enjoyed it today. Thanks so much, guys. We will see you on Tuesday for our angel wings. It's a little bit, whoop, let me zoom out a little bit more even. There we go. There's our angel wings we'll be doing. They'll be a little bit different shaped. I decided to kind of cut part of this off and make them a little bit more pointed. But that's kind of the basic idea. So I think they'll be a lot of fun, very simple. It'll be really pretty for Christmas time project. So yeah, look at how tiny they are. They look so big when I was working on them. They're so little and cute. So hope you've enjoyed this. I've really enjoyed bringing it to you today. And thanks for putting up with my drunkenness, my drugged out state. It's been a challenge, but we got through it. So thanks, guys. We will see you next time. Appreciate it.